Travis vibes, positive vibes, always. Hey, welcome back to Travis Vibes. Today we're going to vibe code together. I'm excited. We're going to build a web app using vibe coding as much as possible and see what we can build. What is vibe coding? It's only been around since maybe February, so don't feel bad if you've never heard of it. Even some of the tech friends I have, I'll ask and they're not familiar. Other people are already tired of it. But it's where you use AI, either ChatGPT, Gemini, or Anthropic, to chat with them, and then they're gonna do all the coding for you. So they're gonna write the HTML, CSS, JavaScript that build an entire web app. So without noting any coding, you can put together a working web app and even deploy it. So today I have a web app concept that I've been, playing around with, and I want to build it right now. Record the whole thing, see how far we can get purely with vibe coding without me writing any code, and see if we get stuck or if we succeed. And then can we actually make some money with my concept? So, yeah, what is the concept? I'm going to just come out and give you the whole idea because at the end of the day, my advice is don't worry so much about telling people your awesome idea, because having that idea is maybe 10% of, actually achieving anything. To me, it's all about actually executing and implementing your idea. And that's what most people can't do. So I bought the domain housebrush.com. And the concept is using ChatGPT's new latest image generation to provide edited photos of people's houses with new colors. So I've been doing this with the ChatGPT app for the last few weeks as they released their latest image gen, which is amazing. It does so much awesome stuff. I'm going to make other videos about other things I'm using it for. But yeah, I would take photos of my house, different angles, and then provide a color sample. And it's great at generating a new photo that's roughly the same as your existing. The technology tends to change some things about photos. It's really not great for people's faces, for example, because you're not slightly recognizable after it's processed your face. But for this use case, I think it's going to be awesome. We're going to make a web app where people come, they buy some tokens with real USD. We'll have Stripe for payment. And there's not even going to be any sign up though. Just come, buy some tokens, use those tokens to upload your photos of your house. And we're going to have a color picker, another place to just give us a little extra detail. And we're going to use ChatGPT's image gen API, which just came out a couple days ago. So this has been in the app for, I don't know, what, 3 weeks, but it's only maybe 48 hours that other developers can build web apps with the same technology, their latest. So I expect we're going to see a lot of these kind of apps coming out, but let's try to be one of the first ones. And I'm hoping that if we blast this out on social media, we can even maybe make some money. So, all right. What are we going to use to vibe code? Well, you can see behind me here, I've been sitting with this really cool Vercel illustration. I love their style, but also they're a really awesome company that I use for hosting my web apps. And they have an AI SDK that I use for development. Check out all their stuff. Super awesome. But they also happen to have, at least from the different products and platforms I've tried, I think the best vibe coding platform for building web apps. They just have a really, yeah, it's really slick. So it's called V0, And we're going to use that today for our concept. And let's dive in. I think it's actually a little bit strange to me that it's not front and center right here. You know, you have to go to AI to get to it, I guess. Here it is. Yeah, I don't know. They really bury it. So once you're here though, v0.dev, I actually have a lot of existing, wow, yeah, I have a lot of existing ones on here that I will just have a little concept, do a quick prompt, and you can get something that really sparks more ideas on more ways for you to build. So there's a lot of ways to approach vibe coding from the standpoint of like, how do we want to describe our web app that we want it to build, and how detailed do we want to get? For me, I maybe just because honestly I don't want to sit here and type out a super detailed spec, but also because I think that the best way to work on vibe coding is iteratively. Actually, that's the best way to build any software, even if I was building it myself, right? It's uh, agile. It's not waterfall. It's breaking everything down into smaller, simpler sections. And so the AI is also much better at development if you do the same thing. So we'll start with kind of our just base main use case. What is the thing that the core that we want our app to do? I'm going to just describe that as like a user flow basically. And that hopefully will give us enough to kind of get underway. And then we can build, you know, with additional prompts and additional back and forth. Okay, so let's get our prompt figured out. So like I said, we're going to try to describe the main use case. Actually, I'll start with like a little bit of like what's a look and feel, and then we'll describe the main use case. Build a web app for housebrush.com that has a white clean look with colorful highlights that splashes of AI magic. It's good to use like some creative terms and just throw some of that in there. I think just, you know, to give you a little bit more creativity back. Okay. For the transition of the photo. So that doesn't really make sense right now, but that's fine. It's kind of wild how much leaps these LLMs can take based on, you know, just giving it something meaty. So now I'm going to do the use case. So when a user comes to the site, they will upload a photo of their house, and then they will choose a color they want their house to be changed to. They will then okay, here I'm gonna actually give for a bit of a high level description of, you know, the AI API integration for ChatGPT. Likely what it will do is just do a mock, so it's not actually going to try to build that capability. You know, it's going to just put some fake data in and then expect us to build that out later. But let's see. Then the photo will be uploaded to an AI provider for image gen and sent back to the user. Okay. Yeah, let's give this a shot. So I'm gonna send this off, and this will probably take 5 to 10 minutes um, for V0 to produce all of the files and then give us a preview of what the web app's going to look like. Okay. Actually, cool. So it's actually got some interactive prompts now. So let's look through this. Housebrush.com, house color transformation app. We will eventually need a neon. This is going to be our main database, hosted Postgres. Supabase is also a good option for, um, user authentication. Grok for fast AI inference. That's interesting. So I know we are going to need blob storage because we're going to be uploading the photos. So we'll definitely set up that. So this was the one I was referring to before. So this is Vercel's version of blob storage similar to Amazon S3. So we'll use that to store our photos. Okay. I guess I went for it. Yeah, I don't know what. I guess me pressing that kicked it off. So yeah, now it's going to basically just produce a bunch of files for the web app. Vercel V0 will typically do like a Next.js app, which is great because that's just a standard, Node.js, JavaScript, TypeScript platform for building, single page or any kind of web application. And so for me, my recommendation when it comes to vibe coding and working with AI for development is try to use the most popular technologies and the most popular libraries and tools within those technologies, because these LMs are trained on, a lot of development data, a lot of code bases, and whichever libraries and tools were used the most, it has the most training knowledge of. So you're going to have the best results. If you go and you try to use something that's more, esoteric and unusual, just realize you're going to need to try to provide it documentation, before it's going to have much success, like solid API docs, etc. All right, so we're still crunching here. Just building a color picker right now. So yeah, I mean, just thinking about how much time just to get like a base repo set up with this much kind of structural scaffolding. This is definitely days worth of work that we're just going to sit here and let it crunch on and give us, and then the question though becomes, well, is it a code base that is actually usable? Like, can you maintain it? Can you build on top of it? Um, I'll be honest. I mean, I've not vibe coded and then maintained a vibe coded app. So that's something that we're going to learn together. I don't know the answer to that yet. All right, we got a house here. It's a nice house. I'd live in this house. Yeah, we're still going. Awesome. All right, here we go. So it's come up with, a pretty very slick looking landing page for our new Housebrush app. So let's go through. Transform your home's look with AI. Upload a photo of your house and instantly see it in any color you can imagine. Powered by advanced AI tech. Love this. This is awesome. I mean, how cool is this? All right, the steps: upload your photo, choose a color, see the magic. Try it. Let's give it a shot. So, I don't know whose house this is. Okay, so we have our color picker, and we can, yeah, we can make, I'd like to make a pink house, please. Transform. Okay, so we get a server error transforming house color. Luma is not a function. We can actually click fix with V0 and try to do that right now, but that's fine. We weren't really expecting it to like actually hook up all this stuff on the back end, but we have a very solid like front end simple experience here. And so eventually, I mean, we still have a lot to build though, right? Um, we want to have Stripe. We didn't even mention any of building the payment and tracking of tokens, because again, we just want to get the base core built, and then we can see by continuing to have chat with V0 how much of that we can extend. Okay, I think this is a really good stopping point though for this video. Stay tuned. This is only part one of, we'll see how many parts it takes for us to build this end to end and get it in people's hands. But if you made it to the end of this, really appreciate you watching this whole video. Please like and subscribe, and I'm going to come out with another video within the next 1 to 2 days, so stay tuned.